Hello, beloved. I thank you so much for your time and I thank you for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. This will be your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also do now offer one-on-one sessions slash life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those via my email though, which will be listed in my description box below, as well as the link to my Patreon if you'd rather book my page or join my Patreon instead. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google, search it, and it'll lead you to my Patreon website. Without further ado, let us tap in and find out, why were you spiritually led here? What is here for you, beloved? Why did you resonate with the title? And why did your own YouTube algorithm present you with this message? Let us tap in and talk to God, okay? So I keep hearing audiently the words, I'm channeling the words of a man who is in a state of, utmost shame. And they're saying in the channeling, right, that I'm hearing audiently, it's like they're saying, you have to understand. Like, you have to understand where I'm coming from. So with the Three of Cups, I am seeing here that, at this time you have a man that's trying to live his life but can't. It's like he feels like his sins have come knocking at his door, okay? Like, this is a man, simply put, who wants out of something that he put himself in. So there's something of life that he tapped into and now he wants out of it, right? Whilst trying to also live his life and coexist. There is something this man involved himself in within his life. He made that decision and choice continuously to tap into something here. And whatever that something is, at this time, it has him voiceless. Like, this man feels like he's lost his voice. And I'm getting an ironic energy. I'm channeling an ironic energy. Like, how ironic of this particular man to be in this state of being, because this man he loves the sound of his voice. He's led by ego. He loves to be worshipped. He loves to be within your highness energy. He loves to be treated like some form of deity. So that clashes, this state of being, it clashes entirely. The state of being that he is in, it clashes entirely with the actual reality of who he is. Mm. Furthermore, I do see that, yeah, here you are. The way this man feels towards you, like, is just completely fearful. Like, he feels fearful of you. This man is afraid of you for some reason here. Like, all that there is in this man's heart towards you at this time is just pure fear. I do see that this is a man that somewhat violated you, whether it was mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually. You were violated by this man. Now his actions have caught up to him, like back to the loss of his voice. His things have caught up to him, his ways. You're definitely dealing with a man here who thought he understood life and had figured it out. Like, he thought he had figured this whole life thing out, like, entirely, completely. Like I said, this is an ego-led man. He knows no other state of being other than believing his own understanding. This man never cares about anything or anyone else apart from himself. He's never cared. I don't care if he's gifted someone something, he's in someone's life, playing a particular role, he does a certain job. Like, if this man is not feeding himself, then he's not doing anything. Whether feeding himself means breaking you. Like I said here, this man is trying to find a methodical way to approach his life now. Simply put here, you're dealing with someone who wants out, like the way in which he has been in life. He never thought he could abandon that version of himself, not just a version of himself, but who he had created himself to be. We get it twisted when we say, oh, the version of myself. No, that's just who you are. That's who you are. Even if you have multiple versions of yourself, it's not a version of yourself, it's who you are in multiple ways. You can't be the same in every way. You think different apart from how you feel. Your mind is not the same as your heart because it takes you to different places. Your mind can take you somewhere your heart can't, and vice versa. Coming back to the message itself here, this energy of a man. This is a man that was planning to come into your life to seduce you. His plan was to come into your life to grant you all the wishes, the little child in you wanted, the little girl in you would, like, he wanted to make you daddy's girl. He wanted to be your daddy. Yeah. But now this fear though, where does it come from? Where have we went from that to this? Well, you're dealing with a man here who's a different kind of beast. This man suffers from something that's called the sadomasochist disorder. The sadomasochist disorder is a representation of in this instance, a man who knows nothing other than causing pain and feeling it to the extent that it brings him pleasure. Inflicting pain, causing pain brings him pleasure. Feeling pain, experiencing pain brings him pleasure. So the sadomasochistic man came into your life thinking you're gonna fall for his tricks. Because like I said, this is somebody who's ego-led, thinking this life thing, he has it wrapped around his finger. Like he got the whole world in his hands, and he don't. He never did. He never will. The world reversed. Back then, what I was hearing earlier, right, when I said, you have to understand where I'm coming from. You have to understand. I was channeling that from this man's energy. Furthermore, back then when this man came into your life, however way he has, however way he did, he thought because he had lived life the way he has for so long, right, thinking he knows better than everybody, nobody's opinion matters more than his. This is the type of man that will spiral out of control within himself because he always never sees anyone outside of him. So he can be his own worst enemy. He can be the reflection he's looking at. Because that's the life he created, not wanting to see other ways. That's the thing. When this particular man came into your world, your reality, your life, he thought he's going to sell you a nice dream, like a quick little, it's going to be a quick little in and out, into your life and out, into your life to ruin you out when he's done and finished. To this man, this was a game, something he's commonly known for in his reality. They know him as the big D guy. The big D guy, he be slinging dick. This man be destroying people's relationships. Like I'm talking like long-term marriages, 10 plus years. Because he wants to be this big D guy whose big D has all these powers to do these things. Daddy. Daddy. So like I said, big D guy would destroy marriages. He would be a curse to everyone's path that he comes across, because it's not just destroying marriages, it's just he destroys. That's who he is. A cursed man here. This man had fooled himself into thinking that he is God, not a God. He is God, right? Crazy in this big, big world, which tells me that this man was really living in his head. He was in himself for like he was in himself in all forms, like every form of who he is in his whole identity, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically, who he is entirely here. You know, like mind, body, and soul energy. It's all drenched. That his identity is all drenched in chains that he kept himself in. Meaning this man is a slave to his own big D because of what it does to women, supposedly. But obviously these are karmic women who have an animalistic spirit. This animalistic spirit needs to quench its thirst. These be the people that have sex animalistically, literally, like in ways that go against our makeup. Like they start to be reptilians with it. They start to channel those spirits of animals. Like they tap into that domain of sexual energy. They go that dark. This man here, he basically asked for it. Like when he was coming into your reality, thinking he can do as he pleases, not knowing who actually God is in your life and who you actually are to God. Because this is God's world. You shall be what He wants you to be, and the enemy will perish. Meaning, the enemy can create their own identity, but the time will come when it ends, and your power to do what you've been doing ends as well. You can no longer sling the big D and get anything out of it. These women are even tired of this, like, man, shit, like, I've been, like, shit, like, we did, like, man, nah. Like, they don't want nothing to do with this man. They've enjoyed his energy in such a way that it's like vulture, predatory energies. Like, they feasted on their and they feasted and they satisfied, and they no longer have the desire to feast upon the same animal. The animal rituals, as they were slinging she was slinging the big D. This is a man of orgies and threesomes consecutively. It's like a routine, a schedule. It's his routine of life. Every day there's either an orgy he goes to, or a threesome, or he's praying, Prey, don't get it fucking twisted. He is hunting basically his next victim. He likes the softies that he can torture and break with his falsehood, meaning play the illusion, get her to fall in love with me because she's weak, she's vulnerable. She doesn't know this life that I'll be living. Oh, she doesn't know that tomorrow I'm going to Katharina and I'm going to be slinging the big D, but to her, I'm going to be little Mr. Guys, this man, he ain't who you think he is. He's a liar. I don't know, we hear liar and it's so commonly used right now, which is crazy. Why are so many people lying? But anyway, this man in particular, he's a pathological liar. He lies even when there is no reason to, when he doesn't have to, meaning it's a disorder. He also has a pathological disorder when it comes to lying. There are people like that. We live that. How many people did you think you knew and then figured out they weren't who you thought they were? I'm sure most people in your life. Actors, we all are. That's the truth we don't want to admit. Like this man here, he doesn't want to admit to himself that it's not that he doesn't want to admit to himself that he thought he knew. He wants to still continue on the path of, I still know. This man doesn't want to get off his high horse and kiss the feet of God. Oh, this is a man that will tell you fucking crazy for even thinking he can do something like that. Not knowing that God can strip him of the very air he breathes in weird, peculiar ways. Things that you just in the house, you get to your car and you dead somehow. God can end your life. He doesn't need you. You need him. This man forgets that. He thinks he is God, but he came out of the same pussy God created. And he's addicted to it too, clearly. Shame. This man here came across an empress. You are an empress here. This is a player boy to you. To other comic women, he's Mr. Charming. He's Dream Boy. To a divine feminine, he's little Mr. Player. Little Mr. Player Boy. Stop player. Stop player. You're like, man, I don't want your damn offer. You know who the fuck I am. I don't care about your money. I don't care about your clout either, Mr. Big D. Oh, it's big. Yo. I need a drink for that. You know what I mean? Mm-mm. That's what I'm saying. Why do you think all these comic women no longer want anything to do with him? He has, when a woman doesn't even want to fuck you no more, a woman, if she been doing it, she, it's like this man, the psychology of a woman in this instance, a woman who once saw someone as the end all be all and the most satisfying man ever in bed. Now that man is all of a sudden, man, like I'm good with that. What's next? That means that man's spirit is dying off. His sexual energy has been, he channeled all his energy into his sexual pleasures within all his life. His life revolves around sex. This is a man with a sex addiction as well. You see how many issues and problems people be facing. I'm glad my issues are like, man, this tap ain't working. The fridge is not working no more. Not like shit, like, man, I don't own my soul type shit. You know what I mean? Furthermore, beloved, understanding here what type of situation you're dealing with. You're dealing with a man who's making it your problem that he has always been lost. Like I said, this is like a playboy to you. Like, man, stop playing. Real boy. Cat or a dog. Whatever. I'll be that. You know, to you, he's like, you can, he's a pissed. Like, this man's, like, you can, man, this ain't no one to freaking bow down to. This ain't a king. This is a page of cups reversed. Are you kidding? This is exactly the type of man. He seems exactly like who you want him to be. That's the illusion. That's the test. This is a man that walks into a woman's life and portrays the illusion that I am your dream. And you like, man, you'd be surprised what we dealing with out here. How many, what's on the dating pool stats, if that's studied or researched or whatever. The dating pool stats. Take a look. All ages, all age ranges. I fell in love with the wrong guy. Oh, I thought we were there, but he was a narcissist. Damn, like he all of a sudden switched. Oh, he cheated. Oh, he ain't acting right no more. Girl. It's because we be seeing what we be seeing. It don't mean what we seeing is true. You can see me and your perspective, but your perspective is not the truth of my identity. You're just perceiving me. Your perception holds no power though, because this is my life and who I am is not something I care about in your eyes. I don't care how you look at me, simply put. You know? It's just mere perception. So this man, he feels like you did him how a man would do a woman. Like you did him real wrong. Like man, you know what I'm saying? Okay. You're dealing with the man who's all about himself, right? So because he's all about himself, he goes within himself a lot. He's always inside, like in his mind and his heart. He's a feeler, he's a thinker, and he's a doer. He's in his body, right? For this man to be out of his body would mean that he's out of his mind and his heart has been deactivated, meaning he doesn't feel anymore and he doesn't think anymore. He's out of his body. It's just a body, but everything else, he snapped. He went away to wherever, but he's not in his body though. Wherever he's traveled in the spirit, wherever it is, whatever domain, whether it's with the sex demons that he chose, with he's thinking about, damn, like, was it really worth it being Big D T or whatever, Big D M Z, whatever his first initial is or whatever. Was it worth it to be perceived by women as this god because I'm slinging dick? I don't know. You know? But with the Three of Pentacles energy here, I definitely do see that this man is experiencing judgments here. This is the judgment that it changes not just your life, but you as well. Okay? Yeah. It's like this man will never see things the same way, and they'll never feel the same about things. So their mind and heart encountering you impacted that. You are the reason he's out of his body. Let me explain to you. Men like this don't deserve remorse. You don't understand what the things this man has done. This man has killed so many people for merely stepping on his toes the wrong way. Or last week, I'm holding on to a grudge last week of an quote unquote an enemy who did something to me that I don't like. Please eliminate him and his family. Bring me their heads. Bring me their tongues. No, today, bring me their eyes. You don't know what you're dealing with here. This man is... Man. Further down the line of him living life like this, thinking, I'm God. I can't do that because I sling dick well. And I got a bank account that has limitless money in the world to get whatever I want. So now this man, he came for an empress. He came for a divine feminine here. And the divine feminine to a page of cups reversed, it's like I explained it to be. This man is not in your vibration. He's not on your wavelength. He's not on your frequency. This man is not in alignment with you in any way. He can't access you in any way that he envisions for himself. He can't come into your life and be the dream that you supposedly want. That illusion does not affect divine ones. We see right through it. No matter if you execute it with your utmost best artistry of acting, we will always see the bullshit. Divine ones, we see. Like literally, that's what we do. A divine one can be in Sydney or anywhere really in the world, or Greece, right? Or Turkey, or Singapore, whatever the fuck. A divine one, we can be anywhere in the world. Anywhere in the world. We will know what someone is doing across from where we are in the world. Meaning, if you're in America, I'll know that you're lighting up candles and putting pictures on your altar of me and chanting whatever weird shit because you think you can call upon a deity to exorcise your demons, you witch. You see what I'm saying? So that's just an analogy, a reference point, a case study, an example here. Meaning, even if this man did anything, said everything right or whatever, man, you would see the Page of Cups reversed energy here. So this man's illusion to get you to fall in love, like he was thinking, you man, you're gonna fall in love with him, Queen of Cups. You're gonna want him. Things like that. Like you're gonna give yourself to him. He's gonna be, like what you really want. It's like, man, boy, no, my life. Try a bitch that actually has no IQ. You did though with Mr. Big D. They did this masculine. Oh, okay. We have Pisces energy. We have Cancer energy. We have Capricorn energy. We have Virgo energy. We have Taurus, double Taurus energy here, double Gemini energy, um, double Aquarius energy, and double Libra energy. Triple Gemini actually, double Scorpio energy. No, triple Scorpio actually, double Capricorn energy as well. So we have the Ace of Wands here. Yeah, there's Mr. Big D coming out again. This man's little Mr. Big D has infections. Like these infections here, man, it's not looking good. I'm channeling some form of herpes or STI, STD, like some infection here. Whether it's minor or major, but there's infections though. It's not just one here, like multiple. Like this Mr. Big D, like whatever this is down there that's going on. Like I said, he don't got the whole world in no one's hands. This man is not a man that should be worshipped. Like this is a man that tapped into something in life and thought that it made him God. It's like saying, I came from poverty and all of a sudden I strike gold and I become one of the richest people on earth. I'm gonna neglect where I come from and think, oh, I'm a God because like now I have money, when I once upon a time never even saw that to be something I can get to. I believed. Once upon a time, I was not a God. I didn't know what I know now. So I don't appreciate who that person was. I'm worried about, oh, look at what I got now. It's like, damn, like getting lost in the source is some real shit. This man got lost in the source. He thought, man, I made it. I have this, I can do whatever I want. And because money has been the ruling currency of the world, people are not worried about their spiritual currency, their mental currency, their emotional currency. They're more so worried about how much currency of money they have. This man utilized that and sling big D energy. He utilized it. You remember that trend, hot girl summer, big D? Oh, it's not just a trend, it's a lifestyle now. It has become more than what it should have been. It didn't start off like that. People were just pushing a propaganda that has turned to a life concept, meaning we now live by this. Even everyone's falling into it. Bad bitch aesthetic, like all these things, which in 10 years will mean nothing. It'll just be something that we experience, and whoever fell into it, and whoever didn't, didn't. If you look at life 10 years ago, people fell into their life and things are coming back to life now of what they did on some diddy shit. Meaning you fell into it. And now you abuse some form of power, and now the time for that power to be exercised is over. Meaning that power no longer has any value. Big dick energy, whatever, who gives a fuck about that now? Women want men dead more than anything. They hate y'all. Energy. Energy. Energy cannot be changed or destroyed. It can only be transferred. Meaning next level, next level, next level. Whether you adapt or not, or you fall behind or not. Next level, next level, next level. The frequency on earth, simply put, when the frequency on earth rises, it's either you are in alignment and in tune, like us divine ones are, or you remain comic and you fall behind in that old paradigm. That's this man going through this. He is going to be known for Mr. Big D, whatever, which won't be relevant anymore. It won't mean what it used to mean. It won't be worth it, simply put, because he thought that was where the power was at. It was all about power. Now that same thing will be stripped of the power. It will be rendered powerless. You're going to see how many people are going to regret their BBLs. You're going to see those story times on YouTube. People are going to start speaking about it. You're going to see how many women are actually going to come out and say, I'm emotionally damaged. Let's repair ourselves, and start trending on those type of vibes. Things are going to change. And if you fell into what you fell into, this man fell into it. He thought, man, I could work it. I could do anything. I'm seeing this man. Like, this man is like a little boy with this. It's like, man, I can do everything, anything. They never really like. It's like, this is like, man. Now it's all backfiring on him. What he has chosen to be. All these people, they all know him just for one thing. Oh, we slept with this person. We slept with this person. I slept. Me too. Oh, yeah, me too. Oh, he spread them too. Oh, girl, he spread them shit. Like, man, on some animal shit. Because animals can fuck their own siblings. To them, it's like, it's nothing. This man indulges in unspeakable sexual activities. Meaning, simply put, he's absolutely disgraceful. So, beloved, to say the least here, you dodged the bullet. I'm being called to end this message here. This was your message from God, Ra, Allah, Source, the Divine. I'm grateful for your time, and I thank you so much for joining me on the Prophetic Vessel Show. To those whom are keen or interested in becoming members of my Patreon, on my Patreon, I do offer weekly sign readings for $10 per month based on love as well as spiritual path. I also offer on my Patreon personal readings for $50 per month. You get a personal reading from me every month based on love, spiritual path, career, and finances, as well as ancestral messages. I also now offer one-on-one sessions slash life coach sessions. Those will be once off and not monthly. You can only book me for those via my email, which will be listed in my description box below. You can also join my Patreon by typing what is on the screen via Google. Search it, it'll lead you to my Patreon website. The link to my Patreon website will be in my description box as well. I thank you so much for everything, and I will see you all soon. Goodbye.